If your feet tingle, swell, or go numb for no clear reason, this video might explain why. And the cause could be sitting right on your dinner plate. You wake up, stretch, and step out of bed. But something isn't quite right. Maybe your feet feel heavy, like you've been walking for miles in your sleep. Maybe there's a pins and needles sensation. Or perhaps they're just numb, not painful, not sharp, but strangely disconnected, like they're not fully part of your body. And it doesn't just happen once. It repeats, subtly, quietly. Until one day you start wondering, is this aging nerve damage or something I can actually change? Here's something most people never realize. Sometimes the answer isn't a disease. It isn't even your nerves. It's your food. And surprisingly, it could be some of the very vegetables you thought were helping you. That's right. While vegetables are essential to a healthy diet, not all of them are safe for every situation, especially if you're over 60, especially if you have circulation issues, diabetes, or symptoms of neuropathy. Some vegetables contain natural compounds that in excess may trigger inflammation, block nutrient absorption, or even worsen swelling and tingling in your feet. And that's just the start. Before we go deeper, if you care about protecting your circulation, your nerve health, and your independence as you age, consider subscribing to Senior Fit. We share practical, science-backed advice to help you move better, feel better, and live well beyond 60. Your health journey is ongoing, and we're here to walk it with you. Now, in this video, we'll walk through 15 everyday foods that can silently disrupt your nerve health and circulation, starting with processed meats, salty snacks, and sugary treats. But we're building toward the 3 vegetables you need to know about. One of them is commonly labeled a superfood, but overdoing it may do more harm than good for your feet. So stay with me, because sometimes the warning signs your body sends, numb toes, swollen ankles, or cold feet, are easier to interpret than you think. And often small dietary changes can make a big difference in how you move, how you sleep, and how you feel in your own body. Let's begin with the first food you may want to reconsider. Bacon. It's one of the most iconic breakfast foods of all time. Smoky, crispy, rich in flavor, but it's also one of the worst offenders when it comes to circulation. Why? Because bacon is packed with sodium and saturated fat, 2 ingredients that quietly work against your vascular health, especially after 60. Sodium causes your body to hold on to water. That leads to fluid retention, which causes your feet to swell. That swelling puts pressure on your small blood vessels and nerves, making it harder for blood to flow and for nerve signals to travel properly. You may not feel pain, but you'll feel that dull buzzing, the numbness, the heaviness. Then there's the fat. Saturated fat contributes to cholesterol buildup in your arteries. That buildup narrows the passageways, slows blood flow, and starves your feet of oxygen and nutrients. Think of your blood vessels like narrow garden hoses when they're clogged in under-pressure water or blood can't move freely. And when blood doesn't move freely, nerves don't work properly. To make matters worse, bacon is almost always fried, which adds even more unhealthy fat and inflammation. If you already deal with high blood pressure or poor circulation, that combination can quietly push your symptoms into dangerous territory. And you may never realize that your daily breakfast habit is contributing to the way your feet feel. But the good news is you don't have to give up flavor to protect your health. Try switching to grilled turkey slices, low-sodium chicken alternatives, or plant-based options. Air fry them with garlic paprika or rosemary for that same savory kick without the inflammation overload. A simple swap at breakfast could bring real relief by dinner. Now, let's move on to the next food one that hides behind convenience but can quietly stress your circulation and nervous system. Processed hamburgers. They're fast, filling, familiar. Whether it's from the drive-thru or a frozen box in your freezer, processed burgers seem like an easy answer after a long day. But they come with a high cost, especially for your feet. Here's what's inside that bun: trans fats, preservatives, and lots of hidden sodium. Trans fats do more than just raise bad cholesterol. They lower your good cholesterol too, the kind that helps clean your arteries. That double impact leads to narrower blood vessels, slower circulation, and higher risk of nerve damage. Preservatives and additives can also spark inflammation. Your body doesn't recognize them as food, so it treats them as invaders. That triggers an immune response, often low-grade and chronic, that inflames the walls of your blood vessels and affects how blood reaches the tiniest nerves in your feet. High sodium levels only add to the burden. They encourage water retention, which leads to swollen feet and ankles, putting more pressure on the nerves and making tingling or numbness more noticeable, especially in the evening or after standing for long periods. There's even research behind this. A 2018 study published in the Journal of Neurology found that people who consumed more processed meats were significantly more likely to experience symptoms of peripheral neuropathy. And yet many people still eat them multiple times per week without realizing the hidden damage they may be causing. The fix is simple. Make burgers at home using lean ground turkey salmon or plant-based protein. Grill instead of fry. Load up on fresh toppings, spinach onions, avocado tomatoes. Use whole grain buns. You don't need to give up the joy of a burger. Just rebuild it in a way that supports your body, not works against it. Now let's talk about something almost everyone keeps in the freezer: frozen pizza. It's the go-to emergency meal. Quick, hot, comforting. But when it comes to circulation and nerve function, frozen pizza checks all the wrong boxes. First, the sodium. One slice can contain nearly half of your daily salt intake. 2 slices, you're already over high sodium, leads to water retention and elevated blood pressure, both of which make it harder for blood to reach the farthest ends of your body, including your toes. Next is the fat content. Most frozen pizzas use low-quality cheese and processed meats like pepperoni or sausage loaded with saturated fat. These fats contribute to plaque buildup inside your arteries, restricting flow even further. And the crust, typically made with refined flour, that causes spikes in blood sugar, worsening inflammation and contributing to nerve stress, especially for people with diabetes or insulin resistance. Finally, we have preservatives. To make frozen pizzas shelf-stable, manufacturers add chemicals that extend the product's life but irritate your body. These compounds can inflame your blood vessels, leading to slower circulation, swelling, and nerve discomfort. So what's the solution? Make your own pizza at home. Use whole wheat dough or cauliflower crust. Add low-fat mozzarella or goat cheese. Top with tomatoes, olives, zucchini, or grilled chicken. Bake it, season it with herbs and olive oil. and enjoy knowing that your meal isn't secretly working against your health. That's 3 foods down, and we're just getting started. In the next part of this video, we'll go deeper into everyday pantry staples that seem harmless but are quietly damaging your nerve health, like instant soups, sugary snacks, and processed desserts. And we'll get closer to revealing the 3 vegetables that can affect your nerves and blood flow if you're not careful. So don't go anywhere. What's coming next may surprise you even more. Let's continue. So far, we've uncovered 3 common foods: bacon-processed hamburgers and frozen pizza, that can quietly impair your blood circulation and disturb your nerve health. Now we turn to the kinds of meals that many people reach for when they want something fast, easy, and comforting. And one of the biggest offenders, instant soups. At first glance, they seem innocent enough. Just open the packet, pour in hot water, and you have a quick, warm meal. But inside that small cup lies a powerful mix of excess sodium, chemical preservatives, and a lack of real nutrients. A recipe for poor circulation and inflamed nerves. One serving of instant soup can contain more than your entire recommended daily intake of salt. And when your sodium levels spike, your body reacts by retaining water. That extra fluid swells the tissues in your feet and lower legs, putting pressure on nearby blood vessels and compressing nerve endings. The result: that familiar tingling heaviness or dull numbing sensation in your feet. But sodium isn't the only concern. Instant soups are packed with artificial flavors, stabilizers, and additives that your body struggles to process. These substances trigger silent inflammation, low grade, but chronic. And over time, that inflammation damages the delicate lining of your blood vessels and interferes with the nerves that deliver signals to and from your brain. And let's not forget, instant soups offer almost zero nutritional value. No fiber, no fresh ingredients, just empty calories that spike your blood pressure, tax your kidneys, and leave your nervous system undernourished and overwhelmed. What's the better option? Make a homemade broth with fresh vegetables, herbs, garlic, and lean protein. Even a simple soup made from carrots, celery, onion, and chicken is rich in nutrients, hydrating and anti-inflammatory. Your body and your feet will feel the difference. Now let's talk about something that smells wonderful, but may secretly cause harm: ready-made cakes and boxed cake mixes. It's hard to resist the scent of warm cake in the oven. But if you're dealing with numbness or tingling in your feet, it's time to take a closer look at what's really inside those mixes. These cakes are usually loaded with refined sugar and hydrogenated fats. High sugar levels in your blood can damage the tiny blood vessels responsible for feeding your nerves. And when those nerves don't get what they need, they begin to misfire or stop working altogether. Over time, these blood sugar spikes reduce circulation, especially in your extremities. You may feel that strange coldness in your toes or a tingling sensation when you stand up too quickly. And hydrogenated fats, also known as trans fats, make things worse by increasing your bad cholesterol and decreasing the good kind that supports clean arteries and healthy blood flow. There's also a hidden danger in these processed cake products: chemical preservatives and artificial flavorings. These compounds are known to provoke inflammatory responses in the body, further irritating nerves and slowing circulation. So what can you do instead? You don't have to give up sweets entirely. You can make cakes at home using whole grain flour, natural sweeteners like honey or mashed banana, and healthy fats such as olive oil or coconut oil. Add cinnamon or vanilla extract for flavor without artificial chemicals. It's not about restriction. It's about creating indulgence that doesn't come at the cost of your nerve health. Next up is a food that many people love, especially as a crunchy snack. But it may be doing more damage than you realize. Industrialized French fries. French fries are undeniably tempting. But when they're made in industrial batches, frozen and deep fried in reused oils, they become a triple threat to your circulation. First, the salt. Like other processed foods, fries contain extremely high levels of sodium. And as we've already seen, that leads to swelling and compression of nerves, especially in the feet and ankles. Second, the frying oils. When oils are reheated multiple times, as is common in fast food kitchens, they break down and create toxic compounds that trigger inflammation throughout the body. That inflammation impacts not only your arteries, but also the delicate structures of your peripheral nerves. Third, trans fats. Many industrial fries contain hydrogenated oils, which promote cholesterol buildup and reduce blood flow. And when circulation weakens, your nerves suffer. Have you ever noticed that your feet feel tight or puffy after a salty fried meal? That's your body reacting in real time. Blood vessels constrict, fluid builds up. Nerves start sending confused signals. Sometimes nothing at all. So what's the alternative? Make your own fries at home. Slice fresh potatoes or sweet potatoes. Toss them in olive oil. Season with paprika, garlic powder, or turmeric, and bake them in the oven or an air fryer. You'll get that crispy texture and warm satisfaction without the silent damage. That brings us to the next group of culprits: candies and processed sweets. They look harmless, colorful, cheerful, even nostalgic. But when it comes to your nerves, these sugary treats can be deceptively destructive. Candies are pure refined sugar, often with chemical dyes and artificial flavorings. Every time you eat them, your blood sugar spikes, and over time, those spikes cause oxidative stress that damages both blood vessels and nerve fibers. It's especially dangerous for people with prediabetes, diabetes, or insulin resistance. But there's another issue: artificial colorings and preservatives. These compounds aren't just unnecessary. They can inflame your nervous system, disrupt nerve signaling, and even interfere with your body's ability to absorb key nutrients like B12, which is essential for nerve health. And yet, because candies are bite-sized, we often eat more than we realize. Just one here, another later. Before you know it, you've consumed 20 grams of sugar, and your feet are paying the price. Fortunately, there are better options. Try dark chocolate with at least 70% cacao. It contains antioxidants that support blood flow and nerve repair. You can also enjoy naturally sweet snacks like berries, sliced apple with almond butter, or yogurt with cinnamon. These treats feel indulgent without harming your circulation. And now, we're getting close. In the next part of this video, we'll continue with more hidden sources of inflammation, like sodas, beer, and ice cream. And then finally, we'll reveal the 3 specific vegetables that, despite being marketed as healthy, may be contributing to your numbness and discomfort. You won't want to miss this, because sometimes even the foods that seem the cleanest carry unexpected risks. Let's keep going. We've just talked about candies and how refined sugar and chemical additives can quietly disrupt nerve function. But sugary treats aren't the only source of trouble. Some of the most common beverages and frozen desserts we consume can be just as harmful, if not more. Let's start with one that's everywhere: soda. Whether it's regular or diet soda is one of the most damaging drinks when it comes to circulation and nerve health. Regular sodas are loaded with sugar, sometimes over 40 grams in a single can. That sugar rush spikes your blood glucose, which over time damages the lining of your blood vessels. And when those vessels can't deliver nutrients and oxygen to the nerves in your feet, you begin to feel the consequences: tingling, numbness, poor balance, or even pain. But it doesn't end there. Diet sodas, though calorie-free, aren't safe either. They often contain artificial sweeteners, like aspartame and sucralose. These chemicals may trick your body into thinking sugar is present, which can disrupt glucose metabolism, increase inflammation, and interfere with nerve signaling. And for people with a sensitive nervous system or anyone over 60, that disruption can be enough to intensify neuropathic symptoms. Even worse, sodas are acidic, which affects your kidneys and your body's ability to flush out toxins. When circulation slows and toxins build up, the smallest nerves, those in your toes and fingertips, are the first to feel it. If you want to support circulation and nerve health, hydrate Smart Chews infused water with lemon, cucumber, or mint. Try unsweetened herbal teas or natural juices diluted with water. These alternatives are refreshing and can actually improve blood flow rather than disrupt it. Now let's talk about a beverage that's a bit more relaxing, but potentially more harmful: beer. Beer may seem harmless, especially when enjoyed socially or in moderation. But for people experiencing numbness in the feet, it can be a hidden contributor. Here's why. Alcohol causes your blood vessels to dilate temporarily, giving you that warm, flushed feeling. But soon after, the vessels constrict, again slowing down circulation. That back and forth pressure can be damaging, especially for the small capillaries and nerves in your feet and legs. Over time, frequent alcohol consumption, even in moderate amounts, can lead to a condition called alcoholic neuropathy, where the peripheral nerves become damaged. Symptoms include burning, tingling, muscle weakness, and even loss of balance. But that's not all. Beer is also high in carbohydrates and sugars, which spike blood sugar and increase inflammation. And because alcohol is a diuretic, it dehydrates the body, thickens the blood, and slows circulation even more. If you enjoy the occasional drink, moderation is key. Alternate alcoholic drinks with water. Choose non-alcoholic beer, sparkling water with citrus or iced teas to stay hydrated and protect your nerves. And now, let's turn to something sweet, cold, and beloved by all ages: ice cream. On a hot day or after a meal, ice cream seems like the perfect treat. But industrial ice creams, the kind sold in bulk, wrapped in colorful packaging, are loaded with refined sugars, trans fats, artificial flavors, and colorings. The high sugar content leads to rapid blood glucose spikes, which, like we've mentioned, damages the tiny blood vessels that nourish your nerves. Trans fats increase cholesterol, clog arteries, and slow down circulation. And the chemical additives, they inflame tissues and make it harder for your nerves to function properly. But there's one more problem. Cold temperature itself can cause blood vessels in your feet to constrict temporarily. So if your circulation is already slow, that cold dessert might make it even worse, at least for a while. And if your nerves are sensitive, you may feel a temporary increase in tingling or burning sensations after eating. Now, that doesn't mean you can never enjoy a frozen treat again. The key is choosing smarter options. Try making your own ice cream at home using blended frozen bananas, Greek yogurt, and fresh berries. Add a dash of cinnamon or vanilla. It's sweet, satisfying, and free from harmful additives, and it may even support circulation rather than hinder it. We're almost there. Before we reveal the 3 specific vegetables that could be affecting your feet, there's one more staple food group we need to address: refined breads. White bread, soft sandwich rolls, and French baguettes are staples in many kitchens. But they're made from highly processed flours that lack fiber and essential nutrients. These refined carbohydrates convert rapidly into sugar in the bloodstream, spiking insulin and contributing to inflammation throughout the body. That inflammation damages the delicate blood vessels and nerves in your feet, setting the stage for numbness, tingling, and discomfort. Regularly eating white bread can also lead to blood sugar crashes, leaving you feeling fatigued and your extremities cold or tingly. The fix: choose whole grain breads with seeds, sprouted grains, or sourdough options made from natural fermentation. These alternatives provide fiber to regulate sugar absorption and nutrients to support both vascular and nerve health. So now, we've gone through 12 everyday foods that can quietly sabotage your nerve function and circulation, especially in your feet. And now it's time to talk about what you've been waiting for: the 3 vegetables that may seem healthy on the surface but could actually be contributing to your discomfort. In the next and final part of this video, we'll break down these 3 vegetables, why they cause issues, who should be cautious, and how you can still enjoy them safely. Because not all greens are created equal. And when it comes to numbness and nerve pain, knowing the difference could change the way you feel each day.